Good day, fellow teachers. Today we are going to talk about the English literacy lesson and how to teach vocabulary. The Ministry of Education and Sports has clearly identified the target vocabulary for P1 English, and Mango Tree has adopted much of their suggested vocabulary into our teaching model. The expectation is that by the end of P1, pupils will have a working vocabulary of more than 100 words and 30 structures. The P1 English vocabulary is functional, and the words taught are common words that children come into contact with in their daily life. Under Mango Tree's model, learners are introduced to 6 new vocabulary words a week in terms 1 and 2, and 8 new words a week in term 3. Each week also includes a list of vocabulary words to revise from previous lessons. These help learners continue to develop and strengthen their English vocabulary. The new words are first taught in Leblanc, then in English, to help learners move from the known to the unknown. This facilitates the transfer of knowledge from their mother tongue to English and makes learning English easier. The vocabulary words are taught using visual aids like the big picture in the primer and vocabulary picture cards. Vocabulary words are reinforced in the songs, dialogues, and structures, as you will see in other videos. The pupil primer has 2 pages for each weekly lesson. The first page is the big picture, which tells a story about the week's sub-theme and illustrates the majority of the weekly vocabulary words. The second page is the vocabulary picture cards for the week. Both pages also appear in the teacher's guide. Each week, teachers must make their own picture cards using manila paper. The picture cards are used in the classrooms as flashcards to help learners practice the vocabulary words. Remember to take good care of the cards you make because you will use them all year. Now let's learn how to make our own vocabulary picture cards.
Cards are very simple to make because the pictures are even very easy to draw, and the level of the drawing is just very easy for the P1 level to understand. So even if a teacher is not very good at it, the teacher is able to draw it.
Depending on the day of the week, vocabulary activities can take up to 15 minutes of the English lesson. Let's take a look at how JB from Alidi Primary School organizes its vocabulary activities.
What is this? What is this? What is this? It is a book. Everybody, boys and girls, open week 3, page 8. Open week 3, page 8.
Every Monday after singing this song, learners look at the big picture in their primers and talk about it with their teacher.
Aha, Omar. Huh? Aha, tineno utin kwan. Umayo ko wani tineno jomere utin kwan poyematek. kelo jeni ba dina ngo aha kelo jeni ba ko ni dina ngo cái gốc con cà ra chèl aha poi mà tek ngo cái này đây thì này chal kan no ngo cái này aha ko batek aha ni dina ngo bao poi mà
This discussion is done in level now in term 1 and then switches to English in terms 2 and 3. The discussion questions are found in the teacher's guide.
Apen na madek jeni otiegi ni kwene otiegi ni kwene otiegi ni kwene ayo ko bonga tek aha otiegi ni chukul poi mà tek jolo di chukul apen magiki otiuti mongo otiuti mongo otiuti mongo otiuti mongo acherita aha ni otin quan dia di mongo chot poi totual ngo ke ada dia ti mere aha ayo Sandra apunja chimigi buka no go chala kwene bao.
After discussing the big picture with the learners, the teacher holds up the vocabulary picture cards one by one. He asked learners to identify the vocabulary words in level now. Once learners have identified the word in level now, the teacher says the word in English.
Aha, man wana luoni choka. Ilemono wana luoni chok. Can we say it together? Ko bukara chel? Chok. Ning main mano luoni bao chot. Ko bukara chel? Ko binua? Aha, unga riya guru matek. Ilemono luoni blackboard. Ko luo bukara chel? Blackboard.
Together, learners repeat the English words after the teacher. Notice how JB is saying the words slowly so that his pupils can learn the correct pronunciation.
Wanako ni Charlie James unu wore kilachi wore chukul tebere kilachi ye yom pina pungi ama uloni Mr. Moses pungi uloni nga.
The next part of the lesson is story time. The teacher tells learners a story about the big picture using the story building blocks in the teacher's guide.
We bow. Tina na pun James tiachi apun Moses tiachi momo. Apunya James tiachi mo chal buki we bow. Tia ko be James gini jogo chal book. James ge tikere God ge chingi. Nero jo tikere God. Jo no duchi God. Jo tia go yo chal James ye yom tia ko ni ene bite go chala achil. Mite go chala chileri.
Every week there is a new picture story of James and Sarah. This helps pupils to learn new vocabulary in a fun, interesting way. James and Sarah are the cousins of Apio and Ochen, found in the level down lessons. They live in Kampala and speak English in their daily lives. You will see that the stories are linked to the themes and sub-themes of the national thematic curriculum. This week, the theme is Our School, and sub-theme is Things in Our School.
The three building blocks are we have the setting, then we have the character, and then we have the action. So when we as teachers look at those building blocks, it assists us to come with a very good story. Like when you look at the setting, look at the setting where the story is, who are those ones there, that is when we come to the character. Who are those ones in the story? You mention all those people who are there in the story. That is all about the character. And when we come to the action, you look at what is the other one doing, what is James doing, what is Sarah doing, what is that one doing. That one is the action. It will make us to come with a very good story. When we look at the building block, you find that it is coordinated to the sub-theme of that week. So we find that it's very simple and it's easy because it is well coordinated with the sub-theme of the week. Paparanani tutungi ene jolongi ye tutunga chala go achil wake. Point to the blackboard. Ako bichi machima. Point to the blackboard.
At the end of the lesson, learners revise the new vocabulary words with the teacher and point to the correct picture cards in their primers.
Point to the desk. Point to the desk. Point to the table. Table. Vocabulary picture cards is helping the learners to master the vocabulary, because when you have drawn your pictures, you have yours as a teacher, and they also have theirs in the primer. So it's very difficult, very easy for the learners now to master the vocabulary. You flash the picture card, they say it. After saying, you maybe ask them to find from the picture. So the vocabulary picture card is assisting us in helping the learners to master the vocabularies.
On Tuesday, learners return to the big picture discussion. The teacher reviews the questions and answers with the learners, giving different learners the opportunity to participate. After reviewing the big picture, the class looks at the vocabulary picture cards in the primer. The teacher holds up the picture cards and asks individual pupils say the words in English. If a learner cannot remember the word, the teacher first asks the rest of the class for the answer. And if they cannot answer, he models the answer and asks pupils repeat after him. After practicing the vocabulary, the teacher chooses 2 to 3 learners to tell a story about the big picture. This is their chance to be creative. Before selecting the learners, the teacher should remind them about the weekly theme and encourage them to use the new vocabulary in their story. After thanking the storytellers, the teacher asks the class to look at the big picture again. He asks learners to find the vocabulary words in the big picture. This helps their visual discrimination skills.
Point to the blackboard. Desk. Desk. Point to the desk. Point to the chair.
On Wednesday, after singing the weekly song, the class plays Teacher Says. This is a fun way to practice the 6 vocabulary words and also revise vocabulary taught in previous weeks. In this game, the teacher gives a series of commands and learners must follow directions.
Ni apoyo ko ni nyuta ginni ayi ne de mo te chim poyo ko ni chim magini yine de mo te chim poyo ko ni chim magini ayi de mo chim ano ko bele mo no ni teacher say point to the book ayi ne chim makana book te wiyo mana poko girani ere poka ngara chele kanang magman point to the chair. Point to the chair. Point to the chalk. Point to the book. Point to the book.
Teachers can use the vocabulary picture cards, pupil primers, and real objects to have learners practice the vocabulary words. The teacher can also use this game as a means to assess learners and record their performance on the continuous assessment monitoring form. After playing the game, the teacher briefly revises the vocabulary words using the picture cards and records learner performance on the continuous assessment monitoring form.
What is the it is at this?
On Thursday, while singing the weekly song, the teacher distributes slates and chalk to prepare for the vocabulary activity of the day.
It is at this.
Today the teacher asked learners to draw the vocabulary words they have learned in this week.
We are going to draw pictures. We are going to draw pictures. Now, one of you guys, we are going to draw pictures. Draw for me a book. A book. Draw a book. The second one is chair. Chair.
Each Thursday, learners are asked to draw 3 to 4 of the new vocabulary words. After completing their drawing, learners hold them up for the teacher to see. The teacher should move around with a continuous assessment monitoring form and record pupil performance if drawing vocabulary is one of the weekly assessment activities. Friday is assessment day. Every week there are 2 vocabulary-based assessment activities. These are listed in the teacher's guide. The teacher observed learners while making notes of whether or not they were able to correctly do the activities on the continuous assessment monitoring form. Now let's look at the main competences we expect pupils to master during vocabulary activities. Pupils will be able to repeat the vocabulary after the teacher, identify the weekly vocabulary words in the pictures in the primer, identify the weekly vocabulary words in the picture cards, and correctly pronounce the weekly vocabulary words. Think about the vocabulary activities you observed. Can you identify the points in the lessons where the teacher is able to assess individual pupils' competences? I will ask your facilitator to pause this video now while you discuss it as a group. Did you identify the parts of the lesson where the teacher assesses individual pupils' performance in the following competences? Let's review them together. Repeating the vocabulary after the teacher. Identify the weekly vocabulary words in the pictures in the primer. Identify the weekly vocabulary words in the picture cards. Correctly pronounce the weekly vocabulary words. Don't forget to revise the vocabulary words from the previous weeks. The more often you practice them, the faster your pupils will memorize them, understand them, and use them. Good luck with your English literacy lessons.